Couple things before we get started. Number one, yes, I got my titties out. Shut the fuck up. Number two, down in the description, click that link. That is my homie King Ray Kage. Go sub to his channel. That's my guy. That's my best friend. That's the homie. He in Los Bueno. Like, he's a part of the team. That's my guy. He's got like 100 subscribers or something like that. If y'all could go sub to my guy, I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna do this in a couple more videos or whatever. Just trying to get his numbers up. That's my guy. That's my best friend. You know, 7Man does not have YouTube friends like that, but I do have a couple. King Ray Kage, link to his channel is in the description. Go sub to him. You ain't gotta watch his shit. Just spike up his numbers for me. To the game itself. We're going to start at the very top of the docket, and then we'll get all the way down to the surface level bullshit. Oh, James Harden played well. This is an actual Nets channel, so we're going to actually talk about what happened and not just who scored what. Number one, now we talked about how everyone, I'm not saying y'all had to have your titties out during the apology, but y'all had to apologize to the kid because I told you niggas that LaMarcus Aldridge is that guy. And if he was there, shit would have been different in the playoffs. So when we got him back, I'm just saying that energy needed to come back. So we're just going to piggyback off we're going to pick... Such a fucking dumbass. We're going to... piggyback off that point, and we're gonna go over to fucking Blake Griffin with the Blankety Blake shit. Now I know you're sitting there saying 7Man, young 7Man. We've already established that Blake has the Blankety Blake shit. No, I'm talking you slick ass niggas in the off season when I made that video saying what the fuck is our weakness, and I couldn't think of anything, and y'all sat there and said, oh, Blake Griffin's not as good as you think he is. Blake Griffin's not as good as you think he is. And I'll say the same thing I said last year and during the summer that I'll say this fucking year. You niggas want Blake Griffin to be DeAndre Jordan so goddamn bad, but that's not the fucking case. Y'all think he's DeAndre Jordan, and he's not. That's Blake fucking Griffin. Maybe you didn't watch the shit he was doing in Detroit. Maybe you just think he's just a nigga that hops over cars and shit like that. But that Blankety Blake shit is universal. Did you see the fucking block on Valanciunas' bitch ass at the end of the fucking game? The niggas start the first possession of the goddamn game. We lose the tip. Blake feels some type of way about it, so he says, all right, fuck it. Immediately draws the fucking charge, puts the steel toe boots on, and the fucking hard hat. The first fucking play of the game, he draws a fucking charge. That Blankety Blake shit is, it's fucking astronomical at this point. Now, I will give you, he can't shoot for three to save his life this season, but it's the Blankety Blake shit that is the headline, and y'all need to keep the same fucking energy, because y'all was acting like Blake wasn't shit. So the same way I needed y'all to pen me a little bit of an apology down below for LaMarcus Aldridge, you gotta do the same thing for my guy Blake. You ain't gotta try to spell Blankety Blake shit, because I wouldn't know how to spell it, but, you know, word it however you wish. That's number one. Number two, when I saw Garrett Temple out there, it brought, I don't want to say the fumes of nostalgia. I don't know, I'm on my toes, but the fumes of nostalgia. It didn't bring any of that because it was only like a fucking year ago. But God, it feels like the fucking like OG, like the beginning of the pandemic. That feels like that was 8 years ago. That was like last year. But it brought back the feeling of the bubble nets. And for those of you who are new to my channel, that's when I started covering the Nets. Like when the NBA restart happened, I was so fucking starved for basketball. I said, fuck it, I'll cover Brooklyn. I don't give a shit. Like that's when this whole thing started for me. So when I see any remnants of the bubble Nets, I get excited. But when we was like dueling back and forth for the lead, and Garrett Temple just kept hitting those fucking like clutch ass shots and shit, I was getting a little pissed off at my guy, even though I fucks with him, and it was nice to see him and Jacques Vaughn, you know, reunite and shit like that. Him and Joe Harris and shit like that. Like that shit was cute. But when you're on the other team, nigga, fuck you. But that's not the there. Speaking of Joe Harris, was he 6 for 6 before he finally missed a fucking shot. And we're only talking about the threes. We're not talking about how the nigga is like on his Bogdanovich fucking just like off the dribble, impossible ass scoop layups off the drive and shit like that. I'm not even including the clutch ass layups. Him playing chest titty soccer with fucking Patty Mills and shit like that. And what the fuck happened to Patty Mills, by the way? That's not here or there. But Joe Harris is shooting the goddamn lights out. And while that's great, and I fucks with Joey, and I love the defense, and I love his all-around game, nigga, you better keep this same energy in the playoffs, because this is your last time with that thick-ass contract. This is the last time. If that nigga disappears again in the fucking play, like, this shit's cute in the regular season, but if you fucking disappear again, I'm on your ass. Ooh, if y'all think I talk shit about Steve Nash, I'm on Joe Harris's ass in the playoffs. But during the regular season, he's looking amazing. Shout out to Joey Headband. Kevin Durant, what you want me to fucking say? That guy is just, Jesus Christ. He's Kevin Durant. Title of the video, James Harden finally woke the fuck up. Definitely here for that. I wanted him to get 40 because that would have looked like really good in the title of the video. Unfortunately not, but you know, it is what it is. I'll take 39. He finally woke the fuck up. He's hitting open shots-ish. He's driving to the hoop, doesn't seem to give a shit if he gets a foul called or not. He's not hitting his foul shots, but I think, ironically, he has to get like back into rhythm of taking foul shots because he hasn't. So he got to the foul line a shit ton tonight, but he's out of rhythm because he hasn't been getting the calls. Again, it's a snowball effect, but it's good to see that the nigga is scoring again because that is needed, because it can't just be ISO Kevin Durant. Which brings us to Steve fucking Nash. If we would have lost this game, I'd be filming this video in my car because I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs. This nigga Steve Nash waits until, I think it was a 1-point game. The Pelicans had 100 and we were at 101. There was no fucking Dalmatians, but we were at 101. And Steve Nash finally decides to call a timeout. We were busting these niggas' ass by 20, and they come all the way fucking back, and Steve Nash was nowhere to be found. He didn't even do the bullshit Mike Woodson shit where he stands at half court with his arms crossed, and he just looks like semi-upset or some shit like that. This nigga was on the bench looking at his fucking nails. I was looking at that motherfucker. He wasn't doing a goddamn thing. He was looking like me on the fucking bum couch, just not doing shit. But I said to myself, even when we lost the fucking lead, I'm skipping a part. My bad, Steve. I'm not done with your ass yet. This nigga Steve Nash, as we're getting the brakes beat off of us, as the fucking Pelicans are slowly coming back into the game, instead of calling a fucking timeout, this motherfucker Steve Nash just subs in KD and says, okay, I'm done, and then goes back to the fucking bench. Nigga, just like for once in your fucking life, try. To Steve Nash's credit, to his credit, I was watching him on the sideline. He looked at James Harden. Harden kind of looked at him, and he went like that. I don't know what the fuck that means, but what happened after that was James Harden dribbled the ball up court a little bit, then like KD like ran around and like Blake set a pick, but then they did like the like Madden like pass off over to KD, and I'm just like, damn, is it ISO KD again? Like, is that the fucking play? But then Blake Griffin was still rolling, so they dumped it down to Blake, and he had that like tough-ass layup over Valanciunas, which if this was like Clippers Blake, I'm sure that would have been a contact dunk, but it is what it is. He made the fucking shot. So I guess that counts as a play. So shout out to Steve Nash for drawing a play, I guess. Like, I don't fucking know, but fuck him. Fuck him. And if we would have lost this game, I would have had some shit to say, but that's not even there. But what I was trying to tell myself while we were down by it wasn't a considerable amount, but it was starting to get a little scary, no pun intended. I just told myself to relax. And I said something that I've never said covering any fucking I'm talking about the Dream. I'm talking about the Mercury. I'm talking about the other New York team. I'm talking about the past iteration of the Nets over the last couple seasons. I told myself something for the first time. Sever, relax. It's okay. We're not going to lose this fucking game. Not because of one particular person, but our players are too fucking good. Like, it just wouldn't make sense to have a mental collapse like this with the players we have. We're not talking about like a nice core of really dope dudes. And y'all know I will never send shots at any of the former Nets we've had who are good. But like, if it was like Karras and them out there, we might have fucking lost this game. But with the dudes that we have, how we're just on our fucking Yankee shit and we have just purchased the best fucking team possible, it calmed me down because I just kept saying, there's no fucking way they're going to lose to they're not going to lose to the Pelicans. There's too much talent on our roster. Whoever the fuck, it could be fucking Javon Carter. Like, they're not going to lose to the Pelicans. It's just not going to happen. And they turned it around because they're fucking superstars. Kevin Durant's the best player in the goddamn league, allegedly. And James Harden is James fucking Harden. You got Blake Griffin out there. You got Joe Harris. You got Bruce Brown, who hit a clutch-ass three. I'm putting that in the Blakety-Blake category, too. This nigga Blake Griffin is flying out of bounds, kicks it out to an open Bruce Brown. I don't know what the fuck Kyle Korver was doing with them, but it seems to be working. But anyway, all that fucking talent, they weren't losing the fucking game. So it made me relax a little bit. I didn't have the normal anxiety attack I normally do in close games because I'm at the point where I have confidence in them, which I haven't had in any team that I've been a fan of for quite some time now. But I have confidence going into games that they're not going to fucking lose. It's just not going to it might happen every now and again because they're human, except for KD. I don't think that nigga's human, but it might happen every now and again because they might just get tired or some shit, but they're not going to lose the fucking bums. It's just not going to happen. And they proved me right, and I felt really good. The last thing I'll say is Kevin Durant like re-injured his shoulder. It wasn't like he was like sprawled out on the ground type shit, but his shoulder was giving him so much of an issue that he just backed out of an entire defensive play. That's when Blake came in and blocked the shit out of Valanciunas. And then somewhere in there was a foul called and KD goes to the line, misses the fuck out of the foul. I'm talking about that shit hit like the right side of the backboard. That hit like the right side of the backboard. And KD like walks away from the basket. He's flexing the shit out his arm. And they called it a delay of game. And I'm just like, oh, this nigga hurt. I'm sure he'll play through it. It's just, don't be surprised. And I'm not going to say it's going to be sometime soon. But don't be surprised at some point in this season if we're hearing shit like ramp up and load management and shit. And this nigga's just in a sling or some shit. Like, don't be surprised if this comes back at some point. I just want to let you niggas know now in case you didn't watch the game. Something's going on with that motherfucking shoulder. And I don't think we've heard the end of this, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully he's fine. We haven't had any major injuries yet. But I feel like this is going to be an issue later on down the line, but that's neither here nor there. Let me know your thoughts of the game down below. Thank God they won. I'm going to go put a shirt on so I can do the video for Newsbreak. Again, click the link in the description and sub to my guy, my best friend, King Rikaga. Get his fucking numbers up because I want the whole team to win, not just me. And, damn. Am I winning? That was arrogant. Am I winning? Anyway, I'll see you motherfuckers. When do we play again? Sunday? Sunday. It's going to be a late upload, but I'll see y'all eventually. I don't know who the fuck we play, but we're going to beat their ass. And I'll see y'all then. Bye.